And away from that devastating earthquake that has claimed many lives in Syria and Turkey, here in Nigeria, the Supreme Court has restrained the CBN from implementing deadline for the old Naira notes validity. The implication of this ruling is that the old 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira notes remains valid after the February 10th deadline given by the CBN. A 7-man panel of the Supreme Court led by Justice John Okoro in a unanimous ruling granted an interim injunction restraining the federal government, the CBN, commercial banks, from implementing the February 10th deadline for the old Naira notes to stop being a legal tender. The court further held that the federal government and the CBN, commercial banks, must not continue with the deadline pending the determination of a notice in respect of the issue on February the 15th.
We invoked the original decision of Supreme Court when there's a dispute between the state government and federal government. It's one of the few occasions where Supreme Court has the original jurisdiction. So we invoked the powers of the Supreme Court to hear this application. The reason for it is that as well-intentioned as this policy of federal government of the design is working hardship all over the country. As we can all see, banks are being harassed, Nigerians are suffering needless, especially the downtrodden. Those in the urban areas, they're having problems, but it's more excruciating at the rural area. So these three state governments, Kaduna, Zamfara and Kogi, deem it fit for us to invoke the powers of Supreme Court to intervene. And the Supreme Court has are not just the final court, but a court of policy in its considered ruling, saw merits in our application and restrained the federal government and by extension the Central Bank of Nigeria from desisting from going ahead on 10th of February that the supply of the new notes will stop.
The court, in its wisdom, decided that something must be done because of the urgency. But the court has rightly, in its own wisdom, directed that all processes must be there by 15th, that is Wednesday next week, for us to argue our various positions.
The pandemonium over the February 10th deadline for the validity of 3 old Naira notes assumed another dimension on Monday as 5 political parties and 3 state governments began legal battles. Whilst the Kaduna, Kogi and Zamfara governments dragged the federal government before the court, seeking an extension to the February 10th deadline, the CBN had on October the 26th, 2022 announced its plan to redesign the 3 banknotes. President Muhammadu Buhari subsequently unveiled the redesigned 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira notes on November the 23rd, 2022.